Artur Rubinstein at 90 is one of the wonders of the modern world. Put very simply, he is a giant in music, possessed of an extraordinary gift for interpretation, an uncanny memory, and a unique, sweet singing touch at the keyboard. The emotion his playing transmits has moved millions of people down the years, in thousands of live performances, on television, and through the extraordinary popularity of his recordings. But Rubinstein is more than a musician. For 90 years, he has demonstrated a prodigious appetite for living, for food, for wine, for art, for painting, for sculpture, for philosophy, for books, for travel, for friends, for family. He is still dynamic and healthy and active. He's completing the second volume of his memoirs, living in this charming house just off the fashionable Avenue Foch in Paris, the city he loves above all others. To me, the man, Artur Rubinstein, is as enthralling and captivating as Artur Rubinstein, the musician.
My love of life is very, very, very unconditional, believe me or not. You see, look here, just now, you know very well that I am not able anymore to read nor to write. I lost the center of my eyesight. I don't see what I look at. I can still live. I'm not blind because I see around everything. So I am still independent in a little way, not very much. So I discovered suddenly a new beauty of life, new beauty of life. When I was seeing, I was reading too much. Some books which I shouldn't have read because they were not intelligent enough, I lost my time on it. They prevented me from studying more music and playing more. I had never the time to hear beautiful, beautiful compositions because I couldn't go to concerts. I was traveling myself, playing myself. Now I have endless records. I spend all my money on records. I listen to the Mahler symphonies, beautiful performances by my colleagues, by violinists, by pianists, by quintets. I get angry. I discuss it with them when they played badly. I mean, I discuss inside, of course. They are not here. So they don't hear what I have to say, but they enjoy it tremendously. The new life.
In your book, My Young Years, you say that you adopted very early in life a motto expressed in a Polish phrase, Nie dam się.
Nie dam się. Well, the translation is not quite easy because it is a little strong in Polish, but it means actually, I will never give in. I will not give in with much strength. Give in is something a little bit weak. There is no word for it, you know. I will fight it off. I will be brave. Well, I don't know, something like that, but strong. And I learned it because I was present in Lodz, in my birth town, to a pogrom which the Russian Cossacks had made in the streets. I was very young. I was a little schoolboy. I think I was 7 years old. We had to run away from Cossacks who beat up the population and make them bleed and so on. We saw blood on the thing. We were terrified, absolutely. And I learned something that I must build up in me courage. I try to be courageous, not to be afraid of anything. And I'm not afraid of anything. I was never really afraid of anything at all. Not afraid. I suffered about it. I took it in very much. I was unhappy about this and that. I didn't have money. I didn't have this woman or that. Love, music, fiasco, no success, and all you want and so on. But I was always rather courageous. And I found out that probably belongs to my race, you see. I must tell you, I have been since childhood a very proud Jew, and to remain Jew. You see, I admired their courage for the 2,000 years in exile. I admired the incredible character of the Jews to stick to their religion, to stick to their race. That they are the only old race preserved as they were.
Can we talk about your music? When people say, as they do, that you are the greatest pianist of this century, do you believe them?
I do not believe them, but I get very angry when I hear that, because it is absolute, sheer, horrible nonsense. There isn't such a thing as the greatest pianist of any time, of anyone, nor anything. Nothing in art can be the best. It is only different. You see, I will tell you my theory about it. I don't think that an artist, whatever it is, a painter, sculptor, musician, performer, composer, whatever, somebody who has the title of being an artist, of having to do with arts, must have an unconfoundable personality. There must be the one and nobody else. He is Joe Smith and there's nobody else like that. For me, if one says, oh, he plays, it's a second Liszt or second Paderewski or second... A second is already wrong, If he's a second, he's no good at all. He's an imitator. An artist in any way must be alone, a world by himself. If I were questioning somebody and asked you, for instance, well, who do you really think the greatest of all times? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Titian, Velasquez, Rembrandt, what would you do?
It's impossible.
Each one of them is a world by itself, a world. If I go to see the whole exhibition of Rembrandt that I saw in Amsterdam once, 350 pictures, I mean not all, but I mean most of it, on an anniversary of his, I assure you, I thought there was nothing else in the world possible. But then a few weeks later, there was a little exposition here of most works of Vermeer. I had exactly the same feeling. Then I saw an exhibition of Titian, exactly the same feeling. They are alone, they are a world by itself. That is something. A Beethoven is alone. A Mozart is alone. There are not many Mozart, some like him with Mozart and others and Beethoven. No. Look here, if I'm a pianist, well, I'm a pianist of my kind, which pleased so many people who liked the kind of my playing, who were my followers, who had enjoyed it, might even had a great emotion out of it and so on. But then there are others who get emotions and get very moved by other pianists, this one and that one and this one and this one. Who can say that this one is the greatest? It's a nonsense. I hate that.
We're going to hear you play the Grieg A minor piano concerto. Can you tell me your feelings about it and what it's meant historically in your career?
It's very funny. Grieg, you mean?
The Grieg A minor concerto.
Well, it's a very funny, horrible story, I was brought up by a very severe German professor of the Brahms school, the Brahms Joachim school, against Liszt, Wagner, etc. That was my upbringing in music. So in those times, Grieg was considered small fry, a man to be neglected. Some young pianist who played the Grieg concerto was looked down upon, What did he play? Grieg or... Well, I was brought up like that. Then I came to the United States, and there was some sort of fight about my recording of Tchaikovsky concerto. There was some sort of quarrel at my recording company about it. They wanted to console me after that quarrel, that we will please let you play now a great Grieg concerto which is selling more than anything else. It's the greatest sale in America. They love it. I said, this concerto, not very, very important. Well, my wife, who always takes care of things, which are important financially too, she has the family, bought that Grieg concerto, put it on the piano stand. I played it through with